Watchman Yahoo paid me to say I am not an Israelite.
Let's look at this 12 tribe chart. You mean to tell me that there's only 3 tribes of Negroid descent? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You guys are really exposing your ignorance. So everyone's our brother then, right? The white man, Edomites, Mexicans, Issachar, Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, Cubans, Manasseh, Indians, Reuben and Gad, Colombians, Asher. Man, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Prove this out the Bible. Show us, meaning the world, because that's who's watching. Show us the precepts before you dive into 1,000 books. So in this 3-part series, we are going to go into color, location, and curses. So I present to you death and destruction to the 12 tribe chart. Part 1, curses.
And let's get Deuteronomy 28:68. We're going to teach you, brother, who the real Jews are, because according to the Bible, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the real Jews. We are God's chosen people. And the people over there in Israel now claiming to be Jews, they're imposters. They're fake Jews. And we're gonna verify that according to scriptures too. Deuteronomy 28:68. Now,
bring it out, you know what it is. Brother Maharka, Bunya Sha'ala, we up in the Bronx. 3rd Avenue, back in my hometown, you feel me?
According to the Bible, you're from the tribe of Ephraim.
Ephraim McGun, but y'all was up out here teaching on 149.
From Taino,
Lions of Israel, LOI.
Off the tribe of Ephraim.
Let's start off with 1 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 1 through 17. Adam, Seth, Enosh, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, Togarmah, and the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim, the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, and the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Saptah, and Ra'amah, and Septecha, and the sons of Ra'amah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be mighty upon the earth. And Mizraim begot Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Nephatim, and Pathrisim, and Kasalihim, of whom came the Philistines, and Kaphatorim. And Canaan begot Zidon, his firstborn, and Heth, the Jebusite also, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hemathite, the sons of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Meshach. So when you continue to read 1 Chronicles chapter 1 all the way through chapter 9, this is our written records of genealogies and tribes. We always kept a record of such, which is evident throughout the scriptures. So when one say they are from a specific tribe, ask for their genealogy record that proves their case. And watch them give an excellent performance like this. They can't answer that question due to Psalms chapter 83, verse 2 through 4. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people and consulted against your hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. This is also what happened to us. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And you, even yourself, shall discontinue from your heritage that I have gave you. And I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you know is not. For you have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. We ought to stay away from endless genealogies anyway. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 4. Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions, rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. So do. So when they give you these genealogies, or when they tell you from this tribe, are you edified on the scriptures? No. Are you edified in faith? No. Because they not either. They don't even know what tribe they're from. They just guessing. No one knows which tribe they're from unless they have the records of genealogies. So how would someone know they're the children of Israel or Hebrew Israelites? Romans chapter 8, verse 14 through 18. For as many are led by the Spirit of Elohim, they are the sons of God. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So what is the spirit that shall bear record with our spirit? John chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. So the words that are written in this book are spirit. The Most High put his spirit upon the chosen people. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Now the Most High said that his people will be a peculiar people. What is peculiar? Strange, odd, uncommon, unusual, distinctive in nature or character. Now, which people are strange, odd, or distinctive in nature or character? The same people that invented rock and roll. the blues, jazz, hip hop, the traffic light, refrigerator, air conditioner, cell phone, your best entertainers, but some may not be convinced. So let's go over some curses to see if this chart is accurate.
When the children of Israel came out of Egypt, they were given laws, statutes, and commandments. Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 16 through 19. This day, Yahweh, your Elohim, hath commanded you to do these statutes and judgments. You shall therefore keep and do them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have avouched Yahweh this day to be your God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And Yahweh hath avouched you this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and to make you high above all nations, which he had made in praise, and in name, and in honor, and that you may be an holy people unto Yahweh, your Elohim, as he has spoken. But did this people break this contract or agreement? Or did we keep the law, statutes, and commandments? I'll let you be the judge. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Verse 63 through 66. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoice over you to do good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither you goes to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter you among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone. Now think about all the religions the children of Israel are in. Think about all the holidays the children of Israel are in or celebrate. Now, think about who taught them these holidays from generation to generation to generation. But what's the foundation? You're going to find out that your slave master taught you these religions and these holidays. Verse 65. And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. For Yahweh shall give you there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And your life shall hang in doubt before you. And you shall fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of your life.
back up and get on that step.
Okay. All he did was break up a fight.
Back up.
Back it up.
You see what they did to me. You see what I look like. I've let him spend all my life. All my life. Yes, sir. No, sir. I never looked him in the eye. And I've been always smiling at him. You see what they did? They beat me like a dog, Rose. They don't want me to even have the thought that I would make. They gonna do the same. They gonna do the same thing to Brooks, and they gonna do the same thing to Brooks' kids, and they gonna do the same thing to their kids. And this has gotta stop. This has gotta stop, bro.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 58 through 62. If you will not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh, your Elohim, then Yahweh will make your plagues wonderful, and the plagues of your seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon you all the diseases of Egypt, which you was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto you. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon you until you be destroyed. Who's number one in all these diseases and illnesses? What nation of people is? Verse 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because you wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. He said that this nation of people will be left few in number. Now, what do people call the so-called African Americans today? Minorities. Why? Because we are left few in number.
He's among the kings of Latin American hip-hop, but in a genre dominated by sex and style, his is the voice for the underdog.
It's the heart of Puerto Rico right here, Tego Calderon.
This is my blog.
What are the significance of the drums?
This is the African heritage of Puerto Rico. This is the music they used to play, and it's all over the island. It's not only from Loíza. Everywhere where Africans are, there's a different way of playing it, a different way of dancing it, but this is the African heritage.
Tell them exactly where we are.
We're really in a place that not even Puerto Ricans come. This is the hottest, the roughest. This is me. This is my block, Loiza.
Loiza. All right, and these are the people of Loiza. What is this heritage? What makes Loiza one of the unique areas of Puerto Rico?
It's been 100% black population where the free slaves came, they got this land, they did the best they could. The history of blacks down here, they feel ashamed of the color of their skin, you know, constantly on TV. They're trying to make us laugh about us. You know, they paint their faces and all that. That's why I talk about it, and I'm not done with that.
You know what's like peculiar in a sense is when you come from other places, like I live in the States, you would think that when you think Puerto Rico that everybody lived under one umbrella and came from the same place, so the color of skin doesn't matter.
That's what they teach you in school is like we're a trilogy of races, black, Spanish, and Indian. It's not like that, you know. The way we're treated in society, jobs, school, blacks in Puerto Rico are inferior in another level. And so now having the power of doing music, I like to talk to people on Tego's point of view. This is how I see things. Hate me or love me, I really don't care. Being hard for Loiza forever, but people down here are happy, and we have a lot of fun down here.
It's a part of that African heritage that you talk about in Loiza, right?
That's what it is. That's what I want them to know, yo. This is beautiful down here. This is my block, Loiza.
De hecho, cuando era pequeña, yo solía pintarme con cal para decirle a mi mamá que quería estar blanca. Y de hecho, también siempre había querido ser blanca, pero actualmente pues me di cuenta que la piel morena es bonita y sobre todo que sí, hay personas que se ven bien incluso con su color. Como los españoles esclavizaron a nuestro país, pensaron que los negros deberíamos seguir siendo esclavos, que los negros somos feos, que los negros somos malos, que los negros, etcétera, un montón de discriminación.
Entonces, si nosotros como cultura, como etnia, no existimos, obvio que tampoco el gobierno tiene una responsabilidad presupuestal y eso es lo que queremos, ¿verdad?
Me parece bien que estén fomentando eso a los jóvenes porque pues desafortunadamente vamos perdiendo nuestras tradiciones y no sabemos de dónde venimos.
Lo que falta más educación, más culturas afros, darle a conocer los diferentes tipos de culturas que tenemos.
In Cuba, where wealth equality is a principle, equality among the races is far from being a reality. Race discrimination is a regular part of life for many on the communist island, where mixed-race marriage is still taboo.
My wife is blonde. Her mother wasn't big on our relationship, but in the end she accepted it because she doesn't really have problems with black people. I think it was the first impression because all the family is white, but everything is okay now.
Blacks and mixed-race Cubans form roughly 35% of the population, but 50 years into the Cuban Revolution, and despite rights explicitly given in the Constitution, Afro-Cubans remain the victims of prejudice. Daniel and Carmen can illustrate that by simply walking down the street.
Because we're a mixed-race couple, he has to show his ID, and the police ask us how long we've been together, if we know each other, if we're married. We keep walking, and at the next corner, there's another policeman who stops us again.
I have friends that are racist. They are really racist. They tell me, because I know you, I don't put you in a box with the rest of the black people. But when I leave the place, I don't know what they really think about me.
Racism is also present in the workplace.
There is a hotel in Varadero. I don't want to name it and cause trouble, but I couldn't get a job there because I'm a black man.
Cuba recently held a televised debate on racism, the first ever of its kind, a glimmer of change in a country where Afro-Cubans are counted among the poorest.
Children here play with a stick instead of a bat. In the communities built for sugarcane cutters and their families, called patés, baseball is more than a sport. It's a ticket out of impoverishment for a very lucky few. 17-year-old Angel Luis Joffé was almost one of them. A year ago, a talent scout from an American Major League team offered him a $350,000 contract. A dream come true for this son of a Haitian cane cutter. Until he went to obtain a copy of his birth certificate for a passport.
The registry office told me I was the son of a foreigner, of a Haitian, and that they couldn't give me any document, even though my parents came here 30 years ago and I was born and raised here in the Dominican Republic. I had to break the contract. Now I've been offered a new one with another Major League team, but they still refuse to recognize my birthright.
Since new laws aimed at curbing illegal migration were introduced 2 years ago, thousands of first-generation Dominicans are unable to work, study, or travel because authorities in charge of issuing documents no longer recognize them as citizens, even though the Constitution does.
They despise us because we're black, but we aren't Haitians, we're Dominicans. Our children want to prosper, but they won't give us the papers.
Discrimination against Haitian guest workers and their children goes back to the days of former dictator Rafael Trujillo. In 1937, almost 40,000 Haitians were massacred in a campaign to whiten the Dominican Republic's mixed blood population. But still, Haitians cross the border daily into the Dominican Republic to find work. The biggest irony is that almost everyone in this country has an ancestor that came here from Africa as a slave to cut sugarcane, like this. But it's an ancestry that many would just as soon forget.
Anyone who is very black is discriminated against in this society that admires lighter skin and straight, soft hair. Do you know what they call me? A blonde.
It's not a black and white matter. In the Dominican Republic, it's all about shade. The lighter, the sweeter the sound. The darker, the tougher the prospects, no matter how hard you go to bat, especially if, like Angel Luis, your parents come from Haiti. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic.
Haiti and the Dominican Republic are close, but only in the geographical sense. The two countries may exist on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, but historically they have rarely seen eye to eye. Tensions due to controversial law changes and the recent hanging of a Haitian man in the Dominican Republic have experts worried that the island is on the brink of a humanitarian crisis. So why do Haiti and the Dominican Republic hate each other? Well, to understand the conflict, we have to go back to 1697, when France and Spain divided Hispaniola in two after battling for control. Haiti gained independence from France in 1804 and subsequently took over the Spanish Dominican side in an effort to free the entire island of slavery. Haiti occupied the Dominican side for 22 years. During that time, the Spanish-speaking Dominicans were restricted to speaking French, and Haitians enforced oppressive rules on labor and the redistribution of Dominican wealth. Although the Dominican Republic eventually gained its independence from Haiti, it's thought that this period of occupation was where their relationship started to sour. Since then, several social and economic factors have contributed to deepening divisions. Today, tensions are largely motivated by racism. Human rights experts observe that Dominicans openly discriminate against Haitians because they perceive them to be more black, despite both cultures having African ancestry. Dominicans argue that they have more European heritage than their Haitian neighbors. This anti-Haitian sentiment has endured since 1937, when dictator Rafael Trujillo led the Dominican Republic. Rafael was obsessed with pale skin, and under his rule, around 10,000 to 25,000 dark-skinned Haitians living in Dominican border towns were murdered. Economically, the Dominican Republic fares better than Haiti. Experts suggest that this disparity comes down to the way Hispaniola is divided. While the Dominican Republic enjoys plentiful rains, the mountains that border the two nations cut off Haiti's rainfall. The semi-arid climate, coupled with deforestation problems, has meant Haiti's agricultural production is more restricted than the Dominican Republic's. All that being said, when the 2010 earthquake devastated Haiti, the Dominican Republic was quick to jump to its aid, providing food, water, and rescue workers. Sadly, this feeling of goodwill didn't last. So what went wrong? Well, after the earthquake, more Haitians took refuge in the Dominican Republic. However, a recent High Court ruling retroactive to 1930 means that refugees can only be granted Dominican citizenship if at least one of their parents is a legal resident. According to reports, more than 200,000 Haitians are now stateless. Following the decision, Haitian-Dominican tensions have escalated into violence, with reports of Dominicans burning the Haitian flag and open calls for the deportation of all Haitian refugees. Experts suggest that countries like the United States and other Caribbean nations may have to get involved if the new ruling continues to perpetuate human rights abuses against Haitian refugees.
Marching with friends and classmates, Lais Nacimiento is not only demanding better education and healthcare, she's also demanding equality.
Even though people say we have no racism in Brazil, it's not true. We are the majority of the population, but we don't have economic or political power.
Like most people in the state of Salvador, Lais is Afro-Brazilian. But unlike many of her fellow protesters, she didn't grow up in a middle-class family. She lives in a poor neighborhood on the outskirts of the city and is the first person in her family to ever go to university.
Brazil is one of the most socially unequal countries in the world. We're selling the image that everything is good and will host a World Cup, but it's a country that denies opportunity to its own people.
Brazil has the biggest black population of any country outside Nigeria. Colonized by the Portuguese, over 10 million African slaves were sent here. Salvador was the capital of the slave trade in Brazil, and Brazil was the last country in the Americas to abolish slavery. Now, despite the fact that over 80% of the population here considers itself to be Afro-Brazilian, the city of Salvador has yet to elect a black mayor. Although Afro-Brazilian culture is celebrated throughout the country and internationally, statistically, blacks here suffer the worst when it comes to access to education, healthcare, and high-paying jobs. Even with such inequalities, Professor Fabio Lima says fewer blacks than whites are going to the protests.
Afro-Brazilians aren't mobilizing because many of them are poor and get aid from a paternalistic government. This creates dependency and makes it hard for them to question authority.
But for young leaders like Lais and her generation, that may be changing. And now they are seizing the opportunity to make their voices heard. Rachel Levin, Al Jazeera, Salvador, Brazil.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 24. Yahweh shall make the rain of your land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon you until you be destroyed. Now remember, Haiti is suffering from poor vegetation due to lack of rain. Verse 29. And you shall grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And you shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save you. Now plenty of people try to save the so-called African Americans, but they couldn't, because we are under a curse. This is spiritual. Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King, just to name a few. Verse 30. You shall betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You shall build an house, and you shall not dwell therein. You shall plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Did this not happen in slavery? Verse 32. Your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. Meaning, there won't be anything you could do about it. Verse 37. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh shall lead you.
Black, Afro-American,
Verse 41.
African-American.
And you shall begot sons and daughters, but you shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Let's take a look at our streets, our community. I'm on the south side of Chicago, 79th and Indiana, going east on 79th Street. Let's take a look at who owns the businesses around here. Stuck in traffic right now. Okay, we got a daycare center right here. All state. Nail salon. You already know who owns that. Little corner grocery store, you know who owns that. Boost Mobile, you know who owns that. The Arabs. So the only businesses that we have is daycare centers and barbershops and beauty salons. Beauty supply store, clothes. But you know who owns it. Tip Top Nails, you know who owns that. Of course, you got a Family Dollar in every hood. Cleaners, Pride. That. It's been around for a minute too. I don't know if it's black owned or not. But most cleaners are owned by Asians. The collections, clothing. Guaranteed Arabs on that. Mandela African Caribbean Grocery. Oh, another nail salon. I wonder who owns that. Tip Top #1 Nails. Right next to a unisex beauty salon barbershop. Oh, on the corner, down there on 79th and Cottage Grove. Beauty supply store. Wonder who owns that. So as you see in our community, most of the businesses are ran by other nations or owned by other nations. Whereas if you go into anybody else's community, Mexicans to Europeans, you'll see that they're owned and operated by their own nation. So, I know we fit the curses. You know, some people say that the Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Native Americans are Israelites. But do they truly fit all the curses? Chinatown. I don't even have to show you guys this, but as you see, they living it up in their kingdom. This is the European kingdom. This is their heavens. They got their kingdom. And they living it up in their kingdom. Everything that you see is owned by them. Yes, everybody goes downtown. But everything that you see is owned by the European. Where's the so-called African American kingdom? What do we own? Where's our stores? I'm no longer on the south side anymore. I live in the south suburbs. But we've been scattered all over the world, all over the city. So let's see if anything changes. You know, the south suburbs is predominantly black. So it's the south side, west side of Chicago. As you see, there's a liquor store owned by Arabs. Oh, we have a payday loan store, probably owned by Jewish people. Nail salon, you already know. Asians. Sharks, we call it sharks, fish and chicken. That's owned by Arabs. Wherever we are, you're gonna find a Dollar General or Family Dollar. Oh yeah, we got another liquor store right here. Another liquor store owned by Arabs. Wherever we are, we fit the curses. Look what we have here, currency exchange. Owned by a Jewish guy. You got Baskin Robbins over here. Indians own that. This gas station right here. Arabs own that. We got a dining hall. This is owned by blacks or Hebrews. What about this beauty supply store? Koreans own this. So wherever we've been scattered, whether it's on the south side, west suburbs, south suburbs, throughout the United States, all over the world, the curses will follow you. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in an urban area, rural area, city, or suburbs, the curses still will follow you. I can't say that about other nations because they don't fit the curses.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Curse shall you be in the city, and curse shall you be in the field. Verse 43. The stranger that is within you shall get up above you very high, and you shall come down very low. Verse 43. He shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and missing as they go, and making a twinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair baldness, and instead of a stomacher a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Women are always finding new, innovative ways to enhance their look, but one doctor says the popularity of such hair enhancements like hair extensions may create temporary beauty, but the damage can last a lifetime.
News Channel 5's Rochelle Ritchie tells us how one doctor is trying to spread the word to let go of the hair. Rochelle.
Shannon and Jay, Dr. Larry Shapiro says while hair loss is common for all women who constantly manipulate their hair with the use of extensions or chemicals, it is more common amongst African American women, and the damage done is hard to reverse.
It's going to pull your hair out.
It's a message Dr. Larry Shapiro says he's been trying to put out there for years.
Extensions will cause a lot of weight. They pull the hair. We see a lot of hair loss with extensions.
Dr. Shapiro has been doing hair transplants for more than 20 years and says frequently wearing extensions can eventually cause a condition called traction alopecia. That's where the hairline is eventually pushed back and can ultimately disappear. Though they're common with women of all races, extensions are most popular with black women along with hair relaxers.
Like 7-8 months.
Stay-at-home mom Peta Gay Watson says she has relaxed her hair for over 10 years, but says she has never experienced the healthy long hair she has strived for.
I had immense, tremendous breakage, especially on top here. And this happens to me every 2 to 3 years.
Dr. Shapiro says while aging does contribute to hair loss, relaxers speed up the process for black women.
Relaxers are terrible for the hair. They'll burn out the roots. I've seen it happen all the time. And
over a period of time.
Over a period of time.
Watson says in most black homes, the idea that relaxed hair made a woman more beautiful, acceptable, and her hair more manageable has been passed down for generations.
We were raised that way. You know, all of us, our parents, our moms taught us, their moms taught them, and, you know, that's why we relaxed.
Watson decided to take a drastic step that many black women are considering. She chopped it off.
Okay, this is me. This is what I look like, and this is who I am.
And coming up tonight in a special report only on News Channel 5, black women across the country and right here in Palm Beach County are taking some drastic and life-changing methods in order to have a healthier lifestyle. See how they are changing the definition of beauty in the black community by going natural. That story tonight at 11.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, so the law is still in full effect. Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 22. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but you shall in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is a curse of God, that your land be not defiled, which Yahweh your Elohim giveth you for an inheritance. So it's stated that he that is hanged is a curse of God. Did we forget Romans chapter 8, verse 16? The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. So the scriptures that's written in the Bible shall bear witness with the children of Israel. Well, what about the other children? So let's take a look at the chart again. Now ask yourself, did everyone on this chart, every nation that's on this chart, fit all the curses? Not some of the curses, all the curses. Not 2 or 3 of the tribes, all the tribes of Israel. Did they fit all of these curses? So if you fit the curses, and if you are of Negro descent, then you are the children of Israel. So if you are in the West Indies of Negro descent, you are the children of Israel. If you are in Haiti of Negro descent, you are the children of Israel. If you are in Dominican of Negro descent, you are the children of Israel. If you are in North America, Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, Cuba, Puerto Rico of Negro descent, you are the children of Israel. But what about the other people that claim to be Israel that's on this chart? Romans chapter 9, verse 8. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. I want to give all praises to the Most High Allah, Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalom.